everybody, welcome back to my channel, Made with Love. My name is Heather, and today I am going to be making tomato soup from scratch. So I've got this whole big bowl of tomatoes here. I've already sliced up and I'm ready to cook. In here I've got about 2 tablespoons of butter, and I'm just letting it melt, and I'm just going to start to kind of cook the tomatoes a little bit, like saute the tomatoes in the butter. If I can get them like that. Just gotta grab my spatula here. I'm just gonna let these cook for a few minutes in butter, just kind of like, I don't know. I like the taste when the tomatoes are slightly cooked. You can cook them in the oven, like oven roasted. I like that too, but it's just so hot today. It's like about 5:30 right now. We're at like 21 degrees Celsius outside right now, which is really hot. Last week we were or a week or two ago, we were like barely hitting 0. So yeah, so it's really hot. So I just don't want to have my oven on right now. I mean, if I was going to make the tomato soup 2 weeks ago, I would have done oven roasted tomatoes. So I'm just going to cook these all nice, kind of sauteed. And then to this, I will be putting it into my stock pot here. And in my stock pot, I have already added a whole container. This is 1.89 liters of the spicy tomato clam cocktail. I like to use tomato sauce or tomato soup, tomato sauce, or tomato juice as a base for my tomato soup. It just gives a little bit of more flavor and variety to your soup. And I will also be adding a whole carton. This one is 473 mils of the whipping cream. So I've got it here. This was in my freezer, so I had to kind of defrost it a bit. So that is all I'm going to be adding for now. Like, I also find with stuff like this, it's already got spices, so I don't really necessarily have to spice my soup. I will also be making the cheesy bread or garlic bread, because I got a French loaf. But first I just got to get these cooking. So I'm just going to continue to cook the tomatoes. I think I'm going to put the lid on this, and no, that lid will not fit. Oops. This is the lid that will that lid's a little bit too big. I don't quite have the right size of lid for this frying pan anymore. It had a set, and when we got rid of the other pot, we got rid of the lid for the other pot. So I wonder if this lid, oh, this lid will work. That's better. That's the lid that we used for the other skillet, just to give it a few moments like that. So I will be back when I've got my tomatoes cooked. Alright, so while I'm waiting for the tomatoes to cook, I've got my whipping cream here, and I've got my little handheld mixer, and I'm going to mix this up for just a couple minutes, just so the cream is a little bit thicker. Because right now it was in the freezer, and I just microwaved it, and now it's kind of separated. So I'm just going to do this for a few minutes, and then by the time I get this done, you can see the tomatoes are almost done. So I'll just be back in just a moment. Right, so this is after about 10 minutes of just on a medium-low temperature, just here kind of boiling. I just turned it back up just to a little bit more boiling. Now I've got it turned back down. So it's almost ready for me to transfer this into the other pot. I can't do this with one hand, and I'm holding my phone. My tripod is somewhere else at the moment. So I'm just going to transfer the tomatoes to the other pot. Now some people would take the skin off before they cook them. Also, when you cook it like this, then the skin slips off, and you can kind of peel out, take out the skin if you want to. I'm going to puree mine, so I'm going to leave them with the skins on. So I've got the cream ready, and I've got these ready, so I'm just going to pour this into the bigger pot, and then I will be right back. Alright, so I got the tomatoes in the big stock pot with the tomato juice. Now I'm going to add in the whipping cream. Just give it a stir. I'm going to turn the heat up just so I can get it back to like a low boil. And I'm going to use this. Alright, so now I've got it well mixed. I mean, there's still a few of the little skins here, so I'm going to have to use the mixer for just a few more minutes. But one more ingredient to add, and this one is something that people don't realize. Now I am adding 1 tablespoon of just white granulated sugar. The sugar will cut through the acid in the tomatoes. I can't even speak at the moment. It will just help give it a nice flavor, and of course I'm going to add some more salt and pepper. Normally when I make the soup, I would also at the same time with the tomatoes, I would do an onion. I forgot to chop the onion. I can still add in some onion in a little bit if I feel like it needs the flavoring. So I'm just going to put the mixer in and just give it a couple more minutes of mixing. But my tomato soup is almost done. I mean, you could eat it right now, but I'm just going to give it a few more minutes of mixing. I did add a 2nd tablespoon of sugar just to help with it, and now I've got my Himalayan pink salt here, and I've just ground some up. So I'm just going to shake some in here. And I've got my black pepper, I guess it's almost empty. I'm just going to sprinkle some pepper in here. Actually, this is a mix of black and white pepper. Just sprinkle some pepper in here. And I'm just going to stir it up. And now I'm just going to let this simmer on a low simmer for probably about 15-20 minutes or so. I got to run and pick up my husband from work. And then when I get back, I'm going to make some cheesy bread and garlic bread to go with our supper for tonight. So I'll be back when I am making the bread. Alright, I forgot to record myself making the bread, but that is just half of one of those long French loaves. I put garlic on one side and cheese on the other side, and just had a broiler for 8-ish minutes. My daughter made a quick little salad. So lettuce, cucumber, avocado, and carrot. And then here is the soup. It's been on simmer for quite a while now, so it looks really good. And it tastes really good. I've had a couple bites of it while I was waiting for it to heat up. And we also had a couple boxes of these appetizers in the freezer, so we cooked them up. This one here is jalapeno stuffed with cream cheese wrapped in bacon, and then this one here was just an assortment of 3 different types of appetizers. I'm not quite sure what they were, and they came with these little packs of sauce. And we made our juice here, and it's half raspberry juice and half ginger ale. So that is our supper for tonight. Actually, I'm just gonna do this. Don't want to spill. You can see how good it looks. There's still a little bits of the tomato skin, which is okay. Like I said, I don't mind it. If you didn't want the little bits of tomato skin, you just peel the skin before you cook. Again, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who's subscribed to both my channels and Likes and comments, always helpful too. Again, just thank you so much, and I will see you all in my next videos. Bye.